Hello everyone, T-Man978. Welcome to another chill review. This time is the Transformers Collaborative GIJOE Autobot Kup / Triple T with Sergeant Slaughter and Leatherneck. I have been wanting one of these Transformers GIJOE collaboratives or crossovers forever. Actually, my whole life. But the first ones that came out, Bumblebee and Megatron, were not too great looking. But yeah, this one was the first one where I was like, I gotta get it. But let's show the box closer on the other side of the camera. Alright, so as you can see, this is a perfect combination of retro Transformer style and retro G.I. Joe style. Of course, this artwork is more updated and looks better than they used to, but the figure looks better than they used to. One thing that's I wish this could be the actual figures down there instead of these images, but at least they tried. We got this up here, got that on this side, this stuff on the back. Things are mostly English only instead of multilingual like they like to do, but I do wish that they had the character bios, or at least Kup's bio. And we have this on this side. Now what they want you to do is cut the tape in the middle right here, and then we can get at the actual inner packaging. And it's just brown Hasbro cardboard, but it has this up there, and we do have this message from Sergeant Slaughter if you want to read that. Inside, Kup was there, but I took him out. His instructions and his accessories was in a bag. And we do get to see Leatherneck and Sergeant Slaughter right there. All right, this is even more of a retro experience right here, because this is how these things would have been packaged. They come with the bare minimum of accessories. There is a foot stand in there, so that's great. It's unpunched. So if you want to keep it like that, the cardboard is flimsy. It's not thick like they do now. But where we do get multilingual stuff is right here on this bio card, which is unfortunate. I wish it was like the full thing like they used to have back in the day. Leatherneck comes with one more accessory than Sergeant Slaughter, and it actually has a real weapon. But they took the drill sergeant thing to the next level of just giving him the baton over there. Just like on WWE, that's all he would have. He wouldn't have a gun on WWE. But you can pause this at any moment. Hopefully you've been doing that. Well, yeah, there we go. I will probably cut along the edges and take these out so I can actually still have this. Alright, here's everything out of the package. You get 4 accessories that connect to Kup right there. Like I said, Leatherneck has 2 accessories, the backpack and that gun. And Sergeant Slaughter just has the baton. Both of them have stands. These stands are actually substantial. They don't feel like cheap. They have like a little texture on there with one peg. Here's the stuff on the bottom. And yeah, let's get them out of the way. I'll start with Leatherneck. Leatherneck, for what these are, they're painted better than I ever remember any of these O-ring guys. Like, a lot of details and whatnot. Now, they did get rid of the screws they used to have right there. They found a way to connect them without screws. But the plastic still feels good. Like, these feel way better than the last time I remember messing with some O-ring stuff. Usually they feel like hollow and cheap, and they'll have like hollow bottom of the feet and whatnot. But these feet are fully painted. Awesome. Articulation. The neck is on a ball joint inside of the neck socket, so it can move forward, look up a bit, and of course rotate and whatnot. The arms go out that much, rotate. You get elbow bend that much, bicep swivel. The O-ring. The O-ring lets you go back, come forward, go to the side, rotate and whatnot. The legs kick out that much. They kick forward that much. Kick back a little bit. The knee bends, and I do wish they had thigh rotation and some type of articulation in the ankles. Oh, and wrist rotation. If they had those things, these would be awesome. They would be on par with some of the other guys that they were releasing for the 25th anniversary. And after that, the ones that were recently at Walmart, had double jointed elbows, knees, ankle pivot. They had all the things. But he has this backpack right here that he can put into his back. And you get this rifle. All green. I think they changed the handle. They did used to look a little bit more realistic, but I guess they figured they didn't need to do that. It does not have a trigger finger on either hand, but you do get this watch right there and a bracelet on that side. So because it doesn't have wrist rotation, you really got to work with getting this guy posed how you would want, but that's good enough. I'm gonna put him on his stand. Now we got Sergeant Slaughter. Looks good. Probably looks way better than the original. I'll let you look up the original. His proportions are a little bit wonky because he's a taller guy. I don't think that the torso is any longer than Leatherneck, but he is a little bit taller, it seems like. But nice paint still on this guy. Really good. And I don't know how these are made, but it's sort of like they put this bracelet on him, like they wrapped it around like they're optional, even though they're not. But same articulation. I don't even need to go into it. You can do that, do that. I'll just show the neck. The neck can look up that much, come forward that much, tilt to the side a bit, rotate, and here is his little baton thing that can fit into the hands. The hands are decently pliable. I can't remember how pliable they were on the original toys. But here we are with that right there. That's all he got going on. Here he is next to his G.I. Joe Classified Series version. And just imagine with me for a second. Imagine you aren't a spoiled collector who's used to getting a whole bunch of stuff with like high-end, like third-party developers or independent developers and whatnot. And you got this. This is that guy, but to the max, to the extreme. Some of the things that are just suggestions on this guy's body, like this walkie-talkie he has here. He has a pistol in the holster right here. This guy actually has a pistol that's removable. He has a knife that's removable and not just a suggestion. This watch is removable and not just something sculpted on. The bracelet over here is removable and not just sculpted on. They gave him more paint on the backpack. The hat is removable. Crazy articulation. I already have a review for it. You can go look at that if you want to see everything and all the other accessories it comes with. All the articulation. Anything that I was just now saying it would be nice for this guy to be able to do, this thing can do it. It's like a masterpiece version of that if, in comparison. All that same stuff goes for this Sergeant Slaughter. These things right here did not come with him. They are for my Action Force Sergeant Slaughter. But once I got this guy, I didn't care about him anymore. But here's a little action figure that this guy came with. And I guess this could be the classified series version or scale for him, or either one. But yeah, and here they both are against my 25th anniversary version of Flint. Now, what they decided to do different with this guy, they updated the articulation and the proportions. That's why he has a smaller head. They tried to give them more natural proportions. Triple T Kup. Now, you've seen how big he is next to these guys. I guess this would be the scale that he would be, because he actually turns into a full-size Triple T. So, yeah. So this is how big this cup would be. But what you're supposed to be getting right here is, what if the Transformers disguise themselves as G.I. Joe vehicles instead of what they became? And they help the G.I. Joe team, or in some cases, the Cobra for the Decepticons. But this guy looks way better than any of the other ones I've seen. I've only watched reviews for most of them. I like that he is pretty much fully filled out. This is like, if I had to compare it to anything, the Transformers animated leader class back in the late 2010s. That's what this is like, minus lights and sounds. He's around the same size those things would be, and it's basically designed like that, but better, because they didn't have things like ankle pivot. Some of them didn't have like wrist swivel and all that. He has all the articulation that I would expect for something this size. So this is a good, that class, that scale now would be Commander. He is a good figure that could fit into that type of price range, basically. Now, do I think all of this is worth $90? Yeah, I don't know. I got it from Extra Zero, by the way. He got an extra one, so I was able to get it for the price that I think this thing should be worth, or something like this, like $55, $60 at the most. But inflation, it is what it is. But he looks really good and he's solid. I can't remember how it actually comes in the packaging. I think I had to fix these to be on the back like this. So yeah, do that. And I don't know if the toes were pulled out. So there's that. Let's take a close-up look at the face. Now, he's not as blue as he would be because of the vehicle he becomes. They left the blue in the legs and the abs and the arms and the top of the head, but he does have more green on. Now, one thing that's kind of old school is the way they have the neck as a solid sculpt with the head. I don't really like that, but yeah, that's in keeping with an older design. That looks nice. Here's the arms and the stuff up close, but let's get into some of the articulation. The head is on a ball joint. It can swivel, it can tilt back and forth like that. Do that. The neck joint can look down. It can't really look up too much. I feel like I'm gonna pop his head off the ball joint. Shoulders go out that much. Swivel on the ratchet, as you can hear. Bicep swivel. Elbow bends that much. Wrist rotation. Waist rotation. It would have been nice if they could have figured out how to get an ab crunch in there. Legs go all the way out to the side. Legs would go all the way back if it didn't have kibble. They can come up slightly more than 90. Thigh rotation. The knee bends basically 90. And you get ankle pivot all the way. There's like no ratchet. This is all friction based. The foot does not kick forward or back. Like weapons, you do get these guns right here. I wish they had a more natural handle, because I don't know how well this looks. In the illustration, it looks a little bit more natural than it does right now. I wish, if anything, that he had pegs right here on the side of his arms. He does not. And like I said, most of this robot is like completely filled in. With Transformers, they have not been doing that. Like, it's crazy well filled in. He has these two missiles. You could, let's see. These will get in the way. I think they'll fit right here. No, but they definitely fit back here on his back. So there's that for storage. You got that. And these guns can actually store back here as well. Here he is next to a Voyager class Starscream. So as you can see, it does not fit in with the standard generation scale. Here he is with a 6-inch action figure. The Snake battle armor. This thing is $15 cheaper, but it's, watch my review. Here's a masterpiece scale Kup from Fans Toys. I guess one other thing to show off is they try to do like a Human Alliance type thing. If you pull that back, he does have a control panel back here for whatever that's worth, and some foot pegs. So now Leatherneck can be shooting at people, and Sergeant Slaughter can be giving Kup orders, because Kup needs to know what to do. Yeah, this is how they can help out. So he's still like a whole play set for these characters, still even in robot mode. Before we go to transformation, final thoughts on this. I do wish, honestly, the Kup is basically modern engineering. He is a modern Transformer, like I've been saying. Like, it's as good as they could get it for the price point that they're charging and the size that it is and what it is. So yeah, he's good. He's what I expect for something like this. The G.I. Joe, on the other hand, I do wish they went with modern designs. Like they have been doing more modern Joes. So I do wish that they would have done that so these guys could be more fun to mess with. As what they are being O-ring figures, they do have some novelty, and they are a little bit more fun when you start messing with the O-ring waist. I just realized they do have screws in the legs. So yeah, like I said, they don't feel cheap, and they're definitely painted way better than I ever remember these things. You will 100% need these foot stands because they don't have ankle pivot. But if they had other types of modern articulation like this guy, they could be more fun. But they are cool for what they are. And if you do have more modern figures, you can use those instead of these. But this guy, mostly great. There is some fiddleness, like this kind of, depending on how you grab it, may detach from the shoulders. And these things don't necessarily lock into place. And the ankles don't have any type of ratchet, it's mostly friction, but it hasn't been having a problem standing up, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. So great, I like it. Transformation. I'm gonna lift the arms up like this. I'm going to rotate them so that this is seen from the front. And then we can pull the hands down and actually push until it clicks. Like that. I'm going to detach this from the body and have it dangling like this. And move this little control handle up. I'm going to do this now. We can open up these two panels right here beside his abs. All the way. And just rotate that now, to be honest. This we can detach. Wait, you know what? Before we do that, I'm gonna pull these down. Then it's like it rotates at a certain angle, like that. I'm gonna have it back like this. Bring this down and they rotate. Which way? Definitely this way. I'm gonna have them out the way like that. Now we can unplug this and unplug that. Move this away from the body. But before we move it all the way, I'm going to rotate his head. Kind of get it that way. And open this panel. As we're stretching it, the head will basically go through. But before we get all the way down, I'm going to push this down and bring that over top of it. So now things are looking like this. Now we can bring this down. It's on a double hinge. Make sure it's not like, let me lower the light. Make sure it's like out like that to match up, because we need this definitely to go into a slot right there on both sides. And if it's not bent right, it will not do that. So we need to get that in on both sides. Now we can rock this forward up into this orientation. Rock that forward. And let's lighten this back up. Rock this forward. Same deal. It may keep coming loose from there as we go along. Down here, there are some pegs that the arms need to peg into on this. Make sure that the arms are definitely straight so we can get that. But now, the legs. We need to get these panels on the side up. Get them up. Feet. We need to get the ankles locked. Put the foot down like this. And now we can shift the knee out like this. We're gonna have to like bend the knee backwards for the transformation to line up, but get things going like this. Bend the knee. Start rocking the legs back like that basically. These covers need to come up to the front of the vehicle. But now things need to kind of rock back like that. Rock it back like this. This clip right here basically latches in between there. You basically are gonna have to need to get that like lined up like this. But before we do anything, then this little tab right here goes inside of the legs. But before we murder ourselves with that, I'm gonna get it generally lined up. But these tabs right here, this needs to come down to why he has these two holes in his crotch. That needs to tab into that. Right there. And at the same time, this is the tough part. These two pegs need to get into two slots right there. So that's why I was saying don't stress yourself out with closing everything, because we're gonna have to close all of this basically at once. Which has been aggravating to me. It seems like when I get one thing in, the toughest part for me has been definitely getting this front in there. I got everything on this side, but on this side, I'm having trouble lining it up. There we go. Basically get that tab in first, then we can get this in. And now once we do that, we can shut these into place. Basically, it's done. It's the Triple T. It has wheels. It rolls very nicely, I might add. Right there. But to finish off the look, we can apply these blasters right here. And we can put these missiles, they have 2 holes right there. They can fit on the little pegs right here. Fully complete the look. Well, there you are. And of course we can seat Sergeant Slaughter in there, because he is the boss of this situation. He can grab that handle. Come on, you. And he can ride about. So this looks way smaller now that Kup is all condensed together into this. And this transformed basically by itself. I had it up like this in robot mode, but it can do that. And if they make something, I guess it could latch onto that. And if you want Leatherneck to be doing something, he still can be back here being a gunner with the 2 pegs. Or he could be actually controlling something back there if you want. I like to make him the gunner. But yeah, I wish he had some type. I wish he had wrist rotation. That would be nice. But I love this. I love that Kup can fully become this vehicle. It does not feel cheap. Yeah, it is very satisfying. Now, if you think your brain thinks about it, how it actually is, like you think, this is just a G.I. Joe vehicle. This thing costs, the MSRP is $90, $89.99 before tariffs and all that. While that's still a thing, if that's still a thing by the time you're watching this in 3 years, Lord knows what mess we're gonna still be in. But if you're thinking about it like that, you're thinking a G.I. Joe vehicle shouldn't be more than $30. But then you have to incorporate the fact that it becomes transformed and becomes a big ass robot. And comes with these 2 guys. I keep not including them. They're probably like $10 a piece by today's standards. I have no clue what to compare this thing to. So I have nothing this size. There's a snake armor again. Here's this classified series vehicle. Here's a Voyager class transformer again. So in comparison to him, it is big. It's at least like something like a leader class, or somewhere in between leader and commander. But yeah, really like it. Really like it. And let's see. Well, I still have Flint here. Flint 25th anniversary style Joe. Let's see, I think his legs maybe... Are their legs longer? Yeah, the legs are longer on this guy. So, I'm glad I had him out here for this. Maybe I could bend him at the knees. He does have double jointed knees. Yeah, that's about as good as I'm gonna get it. Really, he's a little bit up. I don't know if you can actually tell. Sergeant Slaughter looked big in there, so that's what that is. Let's see. I can get the hand on there. But yeah, I like this. I like this. I'll even like the option that you can have a guy back here. So this is, not only is it a transformer, it's an actually fully functional playset with this stuff back here. Being able to put the weapons on and being able to have a driver. So that's awesome, and it rolls really well. Anywho, reverse transformation. I'm going to take these weapons off, because they'll get in the way otherwise. Gonna lift this back up. Gonna push these out to the side. Start spreading this out right here. Get this out the way. I'm gonna do this right now. Rotate this and shove those in to just have that like that. The legs we can start detaching. Right here at the knee. You start bending that. Swing. Oh, wait. Before we swing that out, we need to actually rotate this back. Rotate that back. Now we can swing these around. Basically, straighten out the legs. Shut these down on the side. And bring the feet out. Back here, we need to detab that, and we can start swinging this back into that orientation. Up here, we can start lifting this up, but actually start lifting this up, bringing that forward. We started the head forward. We can bring that out. Bring the head forward. Shut that. Rotate the head. And now we can bring this up like that. Back into place. And we can bring this up like this. And have this plug into there. And take this handle and put that over top of this. This situation is crazy. Confuses me every time. You can rotate like this and then lift up. Rotate it like this, then lift up. Bring the arms down. Rotate them so that this peg is in the front. Bring the hand forward. As long as you can, make sure that this is closed in. Oh yeah, this tab right here needs to go into a hole in the back. Yeah, that's what holds the back together, and that will help this stay into place. But basically, come on, you. Basically, he's a robot. You can put them together, make his ankle pivot however you want, but you're done. And I'm done with this video. Thank you Extra Zero for giving this to me at a good price. Thank you G.I. Joe and Transformer team for making this happen. I really enjoy it. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click that shit.